What's going on? What's happening? Hello to people that are coming in live, and hello to the folks watching this after the fact. If you have comments about leasing or something that you want to tell somebody, if you want to give advice towards leasing a truck, do it in the comments section below. Let's pour a fresh cup of coffee. Oh, ooh. Everybody loves coffee. So I want to talk a little bit about leasing. I want to answer some of you guys' questions. A few things that I think people should ask themselves first, and kind of like the whole decision-making process. Pour you some. Heck yeah. Oh, there's the coach. All right, you should have a wrench, Jason. What's up, Chris? Kip and Jake. Yeah, for sure, guys. TJ, hello, Max, Twister, Joey, Rebel Cruise, everybody. How are y'all? Let me get over here so I can put some stuff in here. Going on your second lease. Does your lease have a buyout option? 1, 2, 3. Hey. All right. Let me bring this up so I can see the comments on here as well. Mute this so we don't hear myself. Okay, so a few things. If you're looking into going into the next realm of trucking, okay, like you started as a company driver, you've got a few years experience, and you're thinking about ownership or a path to ownership, there's a lot of different ways. About ways to get there, right? Like you can get, you can do a lease, you can buy, you can do a lease purchase. There's all these different things out there. But how do you know when it's right for you? That's the thing. And which leases are good and which leases are bad? Because there are predatory leases out there, and by predatory lease I mean a lease where the company makes it as such as that you're not going to complete it. There are a lot of companies out there that do have predatory leases, and they know before you even start that you're not going to complete that lease. They know it 100% in their heart. It's structured in a way that they know you're not going to complete it, and that would be a predatory lease, because basically what you're doing is they offer you this idea of grandeur towards ownership of a truck, but either the payments are so high, or there's a big huge balloon payment at the end, or you're not making enough to pay your bills at home versus what the company's making. Because look at it this way: if a load, say a company pays you 60%, right? They say, oh, you're going to get 60% of the line haul, or 60% of the rate on the load, or whatever. Okay. First of all, I want to say this. If you're not, when it comes to percentage, okay, when it comes to percentage, if you're not seeing the rate con or have the ability to negotiate the rate and know what the rate actually is on that freight, then you're losing money. You're losing money. If you cannot negotiate the rate, you're losing money, because somebody is probably skimming something somewhere. Because if I say I'm giving you 80%, 90%, 100%, 75%, doesn't matter what it is, but you don't know what the actual number is. So when you call a broker, okay, you call a broker and you say, okay, I'm calling about your load from here to here, and the broker says, yeah, we're selling that load, or we're trying to book it for $1,000, right? And you book it for $1,000, or you book it for $1,500, whatever it is, you know that number. But when you're going through a third party, when there's someone else telling you, here's what the load pays, how do you know for sure? If you're not talking to the broker or the customer directly, how do you know for sure if you're not getting that rate con that says on it, okay? If it says, Tom's Freight Company, and this load is booked to here and here and here, blah, 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 and it says at the bottom the amount, okay, and that's coming directly from Tom, the guy that you talked to on the phone. So what are you really getting 90% of? What are you really getting 80% of? What are you really getting 10% of? Are they making up a number, just pulling something out of the air? Who knows? Do I negotiate loads? The ones that I book myself, yes. I always have the say in my freight. I'm not forced dispatch. I can go where I want to go, run when I want to, or stay home, or park it when I don't want to. I could have ran today, but I decided that I wanted a day off to sleep, so I took the day off in Salt Lake City. But you have to be aware of that. There's small things to look at when you're looking at a company to lease a truck from, or do a lease purchase, or lease onto, whatever it is. You don't want to say, yeah, I want to be an owner operator and I want to have all of this freedom, but then you go to a company and you're forced dispatch. You might as well just be a company driver. If you don't get to negotiate your rates, if you don't get to talk to the broker and pick where you want to go, you're not an owner operator. You're a glorified company driver in a lease program. You're paying for equipment and you do what the company tells you. That's just it. The idea behind being an owner operator, behind being a lease operator or a lease purchase driver, when you're putting that much on the line to pay for that equipment, you should have the say of where that equipment goes, what that equipment hauls, and how much it makes. End of the line. If you don't want that, if you just want to be able to say I own a truck, be a company driver and just be like, yeah, I own a truck. I mean, it's the same idea. Same idea. Exactly, Coach. If you don't see the rate con, you don't know what you're getting. You're getting 90% of what? Blue sky, but 90% of thin air. Doesn't matter. You don't see the rate con, you don't know what you're getting. Period. Leases can be good, but you have to be careful. You have to. I got lucky. Traveloka is, in my opinion, one of the best places to lease a truck, to purchase a truck, because I get to see everything. You see what I'm saying? I see the rate con. I can call the broker myself. I can get on the phone and say, yeah, hey, this is Will with Traveloka. I'm calling about the load that you got from Pittsburgh to Atlanta. Yeah, the number is such and such. Oh yeah, RMC. Yeah, RMC is blah blah blah. Yep. Oh, $1,000. Ooh, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that for $1,000. Can you go 1,500 on it? See, when I say 1,500, my bottom is actually 1,200. You can't do 15. What can you do? 1,350. Okay, sounds perfect. You see, like if you don't get to do that, if you don't get to negotiate the rates, if you're just, oh well, hey, go to frickin' wherever, pick up this load, and it's going to pay you this much money, you're not an owner operator. You're a company driver. You're a company man. Especially if you can't see the rate con. So that would be a bad situation. Good situation, obviously, you can talk to the broker yourself, negotiate the rate. You can say where you want your truck to go, where you don't want your truck to go. You can fuel wherever you want to fuel. You have all of those freedoms. That's the reason people buy equipment. They don't want somebody telling them what to do. End of story. But there are bad leases out there. Leases where you've got to put huge down payments. Okay? Huge down payments on leases, huge truck payments, huge balloon payments, huge interest rates, all of those different things. You know what I'm saying? Will, can you speak about the AB 2000, aka the LG 2000? Are those new cell phones or something? I'm not sure what those are. I'm not sure. But you're retired Teamster 1988, company driver, collected a pension. Please tell an old man what a rate con is. A rate con is a rate confirmation sheet, and basically in short, it is a contract between you and the broker, is what it is. And it's basically an itemized list of pickup location, pickup numbers, times, dates, delivery dates, such and such, and then the agreed upon price that I said, Will, you do not have them. I don't know what you're talking about. And it's the what you're going to get paid to haul the freight. Basically, what it is it's an invoice, a contract. That's a rate con. Eric, I'm gonna block you, Eric. I'm gonna block you, Eric. I promise. Check my passenger side. Shadow Wolf, are you here? Check my passenger side windshield. You look at you. Shadow Wolf was here, or are you here? Were you here and you didn't tell me you were here? Look at this, people. There's a Shadow Wolf sticker on there. What is that? I'll have to call that man after this here video. But there's a lot of things that go into whether a lease is good. You have to do your research, guys. You've got to. You have to make sure that you're seeing everything. Transparency is key. 100% key. It's key to being successful because you know that you're not getting taken advantage of. Period. If you don't see a rate con, someone is taking your money. Someone's taking your money. Somewhere along the line. I'm not saying that someone is taking your money that the company you're leased onto or whatever. You do not have them yet. You're telling me. Eric, if you comment that one more time, I'm blocking you because I don't know what you're talking about. Those of you in here that are owner-operators, would you go lease your truck onto a company where you do not see the rate confirmation? Those of you that are lease operators, would you go lease on or buy a truck somewhere that you do not see the rate confirmation? Is Prime bad for doing this to drivers? I don't know. I've never worked for Prime. But I do know that Prime does have leasing options. I know that they do have balloon payments and different things on their leases. But there's an article. Oh, you're talking about the hour thing. Okay. But would you guys really? Would you go somewhere where you don't really know what the rate is? Someone's just telling you? This load pays you. I mean, realistically, they could say, well, the load pays you $4 a mile. Great. The load pays me $4 a mile. Well, when they got the load initially, it actually pays $10 a mile. So you're getting shorted. You said you have them. I'm saying you don't have them. Don't have what? It's a good song, American Beast. It's a good song. So you're leased with Travelogo and you get 70%. I get 80% because I'm a lease purchase guy at Travelogo. The guys that bring their trucks over from other companies, so say you had a Schneider Finance truck, which for the record, you can bring, if you have a Schneider Finance truck, an SFI truck, is it FSI? Schneider Finance, something, whatever. If you bought a truck through Schneider or you're currently buying one through Schneider, you can lease that directly onto Travelogo and make a whole bunch more money than what you're making now. Promise you. Same thing with Prime lease trucks. I do believe we can still do that. If you mount the AB2000 on your dash, is it a safety hazard? Eric, is it? I'm pretty sure it is. Eric's the new safety guy for RST and Travelogo. He's doing double duty. Just to let you know, and he will be singing the new RST jingle guy. He's doing the jingle for RST. We're going to be waiting for that release. But listen, guys, people like myself, people like Eddie, people like the trucking exec, people like Chris, the owner of RST, people like Eric, the coach, all these different people don't want to see new guys get taken advantage of. Okay? They don't want to see drivers get taken advantage of. And that's kind of what this is. But if you're going to a company, you don't see that rate con, That's huge. What do you know what you're getting you don't know what you're getting 80% or 70% or 90% or 100% of it. You don't know. It could be just a made up number. You need transparency in a company. You do. You need a company that's going to take care of you. You need a company that doesn't restrict the amount of time, with that your family you get to spend. You don't need a company that says, oh, well, you have to spend X amount of weeks or days or whatever on the road. If you're new, listen, there's 1 year drivers, guys with 1 year or less than 1 year at places like Swift, like Knight, like Warner, like Schneider, making a killing. Making, 55, 60,000 before they even hit their first year. Okay? Go after the big numbers. You guys are valuable. You know what I'm saying? Coach says, bottom line's no rate con. You do not know what it is. Qualcomm rate cons are a dispatcher giving you a fictitious number, plain and simple. That is correct. If a company tells you this load pays $2,000 and they're sending it over text message or over your Qualcomm or whatever you got in your truck or whatever, they're not telling you the real number. They're telling you what they're going to pay you. Okay? They're not telling you what the load actually pays. Okay? Plain and simple. Read the last one you sent. What about well company trucks that are leased? I don't know about them. The only lease program I can tell you that I know pretty much 100% of it is Travelocos. I know some about RSTs because I've looked at it, because I've asked little guy questions. I just was on the phone with Chris, the owner of RST, myself, and him and the coach and Eric there had a conversation. Just to let you know, the truckers coach is going to be doing some real hard work. He's going to teach Woody how to remove chrome. The coach did that video about removing the IFTA stickers and stuff. He's going to teach Woody how to get the chrome off without leaving a stain. So it's going to be little guy's truck is nice. It's a very nice truck. I don't care too much for the graphics, but I do like the truck. I like the graphics, just not the coloration, I guess you could say. But I had that conversation with Matt on the phone, and we just talked to Chris about it too. Confusing for us non-truckers, but interesting. Yeah, Rich B, it's confusing for guys that are drivers. Leasing is a very confusing world because companies seem to make it so complicated because they hide things in lease agreements. Anything they can do to shave a penny here, shave a penny there. Ike says it's a great looking truck, like the Harlem Globetrotters. I see what you did there, because it's a Globetrotter and it's got the American flag looking. Comment of the day. Ike wins the internet right there. How hard to get your CDLs? Well, if you're trying to get more than one, you're already behind. You're already behind. I don't know who started that. CDLs. It's just a commercial driver's license, not a driver's licenses. But it's pretty simple, man. To be honest with you, getting your CDL it's probably too easy. But you can either go to a school, you can go to a company that trains you. But what I would suggest is before you go to any company, get your permit first. Go down to your local DMV, get the book, read the book, study the book, do practice tests online, and get your permit. And then you can go to a company and get formal training. I don't know who started this. I don't know. I think I know, but I'm not going to even say it because it'll get me in trouble. What company do I recommend? For what? Andrew, for being a company driver, leasing onto. Thanks, Justin. I normally don't do too many of these like informational videos, but I figured that I would because RST has been a hot topic. A lot of people have been asking me questions. I know that Truckers Coach has got a lot of questions about RST and Travel Loco and some of the other companies out there to get driving experience. Listen, everybody busts Swift's balls, but there are companies out there like Swift, Prime, Knight, Warner. You can go to any one of those big companies. Normally you've got to start there and you've got to kind of earn your stripes, so to say. You go to one of the bigger companies. If you're able to get into a smaller company, take the opportunity. When you're just coming in the industry, if you can get into one of the smaller company, the better, okay? But don't go to like a CR England or somewhere where you're going to get 27 cents a mile or something like that, and they force you to run your butts off. RST has been on fire lately. On fire or under fire? I mean, I could ask some serious questions. Chris is in here. He knows that I'm not a fan of the salary deal that Woody's doing. And I'll tell you why. For those of you that don't know, Woody has a rent-to-own fleet at RST, and he has company drivers. And he pays his company drivers $1,000 or $50,000 a year, okay? $50,000 a year is not even $1,000 a week, okay? And I believe that you have to have 3 years experience. Now, if you're a 3-year driver and you're not making $1,000 a week, you're at the wrong company, okay? You just are. A 3-year driver should be making way more than that. You should be making way more than 50, 55. You should be up in the mid 60s to low 70s at 3 to 4 years experience. And the reason I say that is because I know what I was making at Knight Transportation, one of the biggest companies out there, and it was nowhere near 50,000 a year. It was way more. Put it this way, my wife wasn't working, I was the only one working, and we have 4 children, and Knight Transportation paid all my bills. So if you're going to a place that's only paying you 50 grand a year, okay, no, don't even do it. And it's not really a shot at Woody, it's not a shot at anybody, but I'm just telling you, you need to know your worth. Gamer Clips, do you play Fortnite? I don't even know what that is. No, sir, I do not. Thanks for tuning in, though. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll check it out. But yeah, man, don't go to a company that's going to shortchange you. Know what you're worth, and a 3-year driver is worth way more than $50K a year. Okay, way more, way more. Especially if you have a good safety record, if you've got no speeding tickets, none of that kind of stuff. What's up, Cody? How are you? Radiant HD, thank you. You're cool too, even though we don't know each other, but you're cool. So yeah, new. What other questions you got? Is it true I'm getting a W9? I don't know. CRST paid you $14,000 your first year. Yeah, see? No. First I thought that said 140. I had to make sure I had to count the zeros. Yeah, no. Your first year you should be making at least, okay, your very first year. The way the driver shortage is now and everything, once you're out of training and you're making real driver money as a solo driver, you should be way over $50,000. Especially if you're single and you like live on the road and you're just running your face off, which I don't know how you'd run your face off or why you'd run your face off, because you need your face. But if you're just running a lot of miles, then yeah. Walk away fleet. Yes indeed, coach. That's something that you could definitely touch on, being that you're gonna have guys leasing on over there. 55 to 60 per mile at least with good experience. Well, not in your first year, Nathan. If you can get that in your first year, then heck yeah. Running out of Indianapolis, in what equipment is better to run, reefer or van? I was never, I was never a fan of reefer when I was running dry van, but now that I run reefer, I would definitely say to run reefer because currently rates are really similar as far as dry van and reefer are concerned. However, I believe you're going to see dry van rates drop a lot more than you will reefer rates. They always stay a little higher, and the seasons are easier to predict as far as produce, different things like that in the areas of the country. I would definitely say reefer. If you can, get yourself a space saver reefer because it opens you up to more freight, and get a reefer with E-Track. I really wish mine had E-Track in it. I might end up getting that installed because it does give you the ability to haul different kinds of freight as well. And for those of you who don't know what E-Track is, if you look inside of my reefer in any of the videos, you'll see that the walls are smooth. If you look in some of the videos of the guys that run dry van, you'll see that there's these tracks in the walls where they can hook in straps, right? They can hook in straps. And that's what that E-Track is, where the straps and stuff lock into it versus just having load bars. Yep. There you go. Josh has E-Track in his reefer. You definitely want E-Track. I wish mine had it. I'm going to probably get it installed. And it's better to get it from the factory. Mayday, 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 says Josh. What's up, man? Yeah, it's way better than load locks. What can I tell you about Arnold Transportation? Kojo, I can't really tell you much about them. I've seen their trucks, but I don't know anyone that's ever driven for them, and I've never driven for them, so I don't really want to speak on it too much. I don't know anybody over there. Do I have a nickname for my truck? I've called my truck a lot of things, but no, I don't really have an actual nickname for it. How much should you take home a year on lease purchase? I can tell you what I made last year, gross. Last year, gross was $263,000. That was my gross last year. Who blocked Eric? Oh, Ike did? Oh, man. There, I got you, Eric. He just texted me. Someone blocked him. You're unhidden. You're running a lot of miles. But way too much waiting and detention as a rookie going back in June. How do you insist on 30 cents a mile with... You should be getting way more than 30 cents a mile. John Taylor, I don't know who you're running for, but you should get way more than 30 cents a mile with only 6 months experience. You can go to Knight Transportation. Knight has a sliding pay scale, but I never, even when I first started, never made less than 30 cents a mile over there. Most companies, I think, for beginners, you're going to look at like probably, what would you say, guys? Maybe 38 to 42 somewhere. Just depends on what kind of benefits they offer. Usually if a company offers like full benefits or something like that, you're going to see way less than your cents per mile. If you're having to buy your own benefits, you're going to see more. But yeah, you should definitely look at a different company. John Taylor, there are some companies in the States that can hire Canadian drivers. I believe Prime is one of them that hires Canadian guys. Chris, if you're still in here, Chris might know that. Does Prime hire Canadian guys? Announce publicly that we're back together and you left Eric for me. That's true. It's very true. I did leave Eric for you, and I'll tell you why. His singing just annoys the shit out of me. You're searching for hourly. I don't know if you'll ever find an OTR hourly position. If you do, let me know, because I'd like to know about it. Celadon does. There you go. Look at Celadon. And guys, right there, Chris Robertson. He's one of the owners of RST. So if you guys have RST questions, that's who you need to ask. Don't ask people that don't know. unless it's somebody that talks to Chris and can get you accurate information on things, don't just guess. Your company's Eric's a Democrat. Yeah, Eric's definitely a Democrat, and you can tell because he is a flat billed hat. Okay, I'm just joking. You can't tell if somebody's a Democrat or not. But Eric cares too much about kitty cats. He's got a cat. Did he tell you he's a cat? Ugh. He locked it in the refrigerator. His cat. That's right. Eric accidentally locked his cat in the refrigerator. Thank God he didn't freeze the cat. That makes Eric a villain. He is a villain. How long have I done lease purchase? I've been, let's see, what is this, March? We're coming to April. So I've been in this truck since January 9th of last year. So a year and what? 2 months, 3 months? Mixer drivers make $34 an hour. That's pretty good, man. Good evening, Battleborn. How are you? Battleborn spotted my hat the other day. He spotted my hat. That's a Reno Aces hat. See right there? Aces. The Reno Aces. A little fuzzy right there. With the new ELD mandate, do you think it affects your bottom line significantly, or have you noticed much difference? I have not noticed much difference, and here's what I'm going to tell you about that. The reason that I haven't noticed much difference is because I can pick my freight. Like I was saying earlier, I am not susceptible to forced dispatch because of that, and being able to pick my own loads. I can pick loads based off of my clock. I don't have to worry about it. Is TMC a good company? I've heard good things about TMC. I have heard that they're very anal about the trucks. That you have to get repeated like inspections because they want them to be all shiny and clean on the inside, which I think is good. Gross means before taxes, Honda 09. I agree, Archie. I think the ELD mandate has pushed rates up, and I believe it has kept rates up as far as that goes. See, the thing about that is like picking your own loads is the only way to go, man. Why would you buy a truck or lease a truck if you're not picking your freight? Why? Why would you buy a truck or lease a truck if you're not picking your own freight? Is your truck governed? Yes, it's 75 miles an hour. Does TMC have a lease program? Honda, I do not know. You're not a truck driver, you're a lumper. Well, I could go in on lumpers, man. Such a racket. But I doubt you own a lumper company. You probably just work for one or something. Your cousin went to Wildtech for diesel mechanic and not one personal hire company. So they tell him he's overqualified. So I'm convincing him to drive truck, and if it breaks down, he can work on his own truck. Listen, if your brother, or your cousin, if your cousin is a certified diesel mechanic and stuff like that, reaching out to a smaller company like Traveloco or someone that has a smaller shop would probably be good for him. Also, being an owner-operator would be really good for him because they can save themselves a lot of money. One of the most expensive things that an owner-operator runs into when something happens to the truck is the cost of labor. Cost of labor. Parts, for the most part, are relatively inexpensive. The labor is what really kills you. Yeah, truck speed 75 is legal. Different states have different speed limits. You know, in Utah, you can run 80 at some roads out here. Hey, Cody, you can actually have him maybe reach out to Eric, depending on where he lives. I don't know. Maybe Traveloco's in the market for a mechanic. I don't know. You waited 3 years to lease a truck just so you could pick your own freight. That's the only way to do it, Josh. Gotta be able to pick your own freight. And say no to forced dispatch. Say yes to seeing the rate con. Railroad makes more money. Man, the railroad guys do make a lot of money. Do you break loads down for you, or do you break loads down? I do not pay for lumpers. No. Broker pays for lumpers. I ain't paying for no lumper. No. When you see, and that's another thing, when you negotiate, here's one of the big things about being able to negotiate, and then I'll take some more questions and then for a couple minutes and I'll shut down. But being able to negotiate a rate is huge for a few reasons. One of the big problems that we all encounter as drivers on the road is detention. Being detained at a dock, getting loaded, getting unloaded, whatever it is. Being detained as an owner-operator is extremely painful for the simple fact is you're not earning any money, okay? You're not earning any money just sitting there. But when you have the power to negotiate the rate, you can work with the broker on the phone even before you get to the shipper or the receiver, and you can say, okay, well, I want in the Raycon detention at $75 an hour or $50 an hour or $100 an hour, whatever it is that you negotiate, and you can have that in the Raycon. So, it's like you can negotiate that and get $75 or $100 an hour, or you can take what the company tells you get. Why? Why would you only take what they tell you you're going to get? No. Negotiate that prior to, especially if you go to a customer and you've been there before and you know that they take forever. How long do you wait to call the broker about detention? I talk to the broker about detention when I book the load, and I will call the broker an hour and a half in. Normally you give them 2 hours for free. I will call them an hour and a half in to either the loading or the unloading. Give them the opportunity to reach out to the customer and warn them, hey, you're going to be starting to get charged detention here in 30 minutes or whatever the case may be. Always keep the broker in the loop of communication. They can help put pressure on the shipper or receiver to get you out of there. The idea that the thought that it takes 8 hours or 2 hours or 10 hours or whatever to load or unload a truck is ridiculous. That's right, Archie. 2 hours is, it's pretty much the industry norm right now is 2 hours. You got kicked to the Aldi warehouse because you wouldn't pay them to unload their stuff. I believe it, man. That stuff's ridiculous. The broker needs to pay that. And see, here's the thing. Here's the racket that lumpers put us in, right? They got this racket going on. Basically, they determine, okay, there's no negotiating with them. They say, well, you got this much, and they just look at the thing. They just look at the bill, and they're like, oh yeah, that's $368 or whatever, right? And you're like, you're just pulling the shit off. Yeah, it's $368. Okay. Well, I'm not going to pay you that money. Well, then we're not going to unload it. Well, can I unload it myself? Yeah, but you have to rent one of our pallet jacks. We can't let you use a forklift. Well, how much is it going to cost me to rent your pallet jack? $368. Oh. So if I do it myself, I still have to pay you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, it makes sense, right? Yeah, it makes so much sense. You heard they have an E-Track edition on the AB2000 for reefer trailers. It's possible. I don't know. Millennials lick booty holes. True story. Okay. Will, have you heard of vets? I mean, as in veterans? Do you think your boss would hire you after you get your CDL you never drove before? No. You have to have 3 years experience to come to Traveloco. Vet benefits for hauling government freight. Oh yeah, I have Motor T. I have. Somebody talked to me about that before. You wish Local would go back to taking quality trucks. You've had yours for 2.5 years. Ghost Rider, reach out to Eric, is what I can tell you about that. Eric at traveloko.com, okay? I want all of you guys to send Eric an email, okay? Everybody send Eric an email. Even if you don't have a question, just send him an email with some spam in it. That'd be great. Eric at traveloco.com. He would love to hear your life story or even a fictional story. Send him a story. It'd be wonderful. Do you have a good idea of what your Volvo MPG is when deadheading at 75 miles an hour? Usually, if I'm empty, I mean, it's great. It's great. Loaded at 75, you use tons of fuel, man. I don't care what truck you're in. If you're heavy. Yeah, send him a picture, Joe. That'd be great. Eric at traveloko.com. Everybody jot that down. Please make sure you send Eric an email. Eric at traveloko.com. He would love to hear from you. And if you want, you can put hashtag Lil Dawg as the subject line, so he knows that him trolling me on YouTube caused him to get a whole bunch of emails. Who is Eric? Eric is also known as Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's the safety captain for Traveloco. He's the hall monitor. Yeah, whoever emails Eric will get my personal cell phone number in a reply, and then when you try to text me or call me, I'll block you. What's the email one more time? It's Eric. That's EIRC at traveloko.com. traveloko.com. Go ahead and send him an email. He would love a selfie. If you want to send him a selfie, send him a selfie. You can send him a hashtag shitter pic if you want, which is a picture of you on the crapper. I'm pretty sure he would love to get a shitter pic. Oh, Eric, if they get my cell number, they'll get yours too. Send him send him anything you want. If it's really outrageous and Eric lets me know about it, I'll put it on YouTube. Whatever you send him, that would be funny. If you can make Eric laugh, he might like the Christmas tree. Oh, man. Oh. All right, guys. Listen, I'm gonna get out of here. If you go to lease a truck, if you want ownership, if you really want the freedom of being an owner-operator, make sure that you're getting all of the freedoms of being an owner-operator. Make sure that the company that you're leased onto or you're leasing from is totally transparent. Make sure you can negotiate with the brokers. Stay away from major companies. Stay away from them. Okay? Stay away from them. Little guy, I know you're in here watching. Where's Matt at? How come he hasn't commented? I know he's in here watching. It upsets me because I know he's watching. Yeah, you can all hit the like button too. That'd be great. Oh, I know Matt's in here watching. Is Truckers Coach going to go live? Truckers Coach, are you going to go live right now? Do you have time for a live feed? Is Ike going to go? Is anybody who's going to go live? There's all these people in here that want more information about things. We need someone else to go live so that they have somebody to watch. If somebody wants to work for you, work for you while working for Traveloco. What? That would be like leasing a lease or something. I don't think you can do that. You can't do that. Matt's watching Harlem Globetrotters reruns. I want to talk about something seriously, Will. Okay, I'll call you, Eric. Celebrity truckers behind the scenes. Ike, go live. Ike, are you parked? Are you done for the day? Go live. Is Ike going to go live? Coach is deferring to Ike. You can put your clothes on. Yeah, put your clothes on. Go live while I'm live, so everybody can just click over. Maybe you can explain the AB 2000. Maybe you can talk about the AB 2000. I probably was sitting in the truck style like, I ain't got no panties on. I ain't got no panties on. You guys all know that guy. I ain't got no panties on. Where's Pete? Pete's been retired for a little while. Where's a pic of Matt's new truck? On Instagram. When am I coming to deliver flowers? You've got some regulation news that no one has talked about yet. Okay. We'll go live, Ike. When I get your alert here or whatever, I'll say that you're live. Why are truckers retiring? Maybe because they get old? Could you imagine Ike just sitting in his driver's seat in his tighty whities? Just on the radio? Breaker 19, I ain't got no panties on. I ain't got no panties on, Breaker 19. I'm sitting over here with this sweet tool. Not an image you needed. I know, right? Could you imagine Ike in his tighty whities talking on the CB to the little guy who's in the same truck stop in his tighty whities? What do you think about that? It's possible. It's possible. Did Ike go live yet? Come on, Ike. Well, everybody make sure that they're all subscribed to Ike. Scroll up, find his name right there with the little blue wrench. Go subscribe. Ring the bell on Ike's side so that you get the alerts when he goes live. Definitely, Joe, would need more peanut butter. You think that's an AB 2000 moment? Possibly. Coach, you should have went live too. You should go live after Ike goes live then. What's up, Matt? Oh, I do want to add this. Check this out. On Netflix, there's a series that I've been watching called Cold Justice. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Okay? Have your tissues ready because there's some tearjerker type moments in there if you're a softie. All right? Because what it is basically is there's two ladies who, one of them is a retired CSI investigator or crime scene investigator, and the other one is she was a prosecutor, like a attorney, and they go around to different cities and solve cold cases, unsolved murders and stuff like that. It's freaking phenomenal. You can't. You're going live about Woody buying your company source. Yeah, I heard that you were giving Woody all kinds of tips, man. What does the wrench mean? The wrench means that they are moderators, so they can delete comments and stuff and block people. You should check out the show The Following. Okay. I'd be interested in watching that. I like Netflix. I'm a Netflix binger. Like I get hooked on a show and I'll watch the whole freaking thing. I'll get up for bathroom breaks and that's about it. All right, did you guys all subscribe to Ike, or are you subscribed to Ike? If you're not, please do so. I'm gonna get out of here because I'm out of shit to talk about now. But be careful of leases. Make sure that you see the rate cons. Okay, okay. Everybody be safe. Send Eric an email. Eric@traveloco.com. Okay, send him an email. Everybody have a great night. I'll talk to you all later. Be safe, everybody. Say no to predatory leases. There's Ike. Ike's live. Go see Ike. He's live right now. Just went live. There should be all of you should go over there.